Okay, so let's talk a little bit about financial oversight. It's important for everyone to understand kind of how Alpine is organized. The financial teams at Alpine Church, there are two types of teams. First of all, Alpine has a central financial team, and it's led by our executive pastor, Dean Hoffman. And on that team are currently are Tony Pruitt and Nick Belangdal, Roger Linscott, at least at the time of the recording of this. Your campus pastor can tell you if those names have changed at all. I'm on the team as well as the pastor who started Alpine Church, but again, so my role is there as well. But Dean leads this team, and he leads the financial side, the overall financial side of Alpine Church. Now, this team gives big picture oversight. So it does things such as setting the overall annual budget and setting the salaries for central team people and for campus pastors and all those people. So it's kind of big picture oversight. They meet quarterly together, and it's a team of godly men. I really appreciate these guys. Now, each campus also has its own financial team for campus oversight. So the central team has sort of overall big picture oversight, but each team also has very important campus oversight financially. Here's what that means. Their basic job is to oversee the campus budget. And here there are three things you need to know. You need to know your X. Your X is your campus income. We're going to use these letters so that we all have the same language to use. So your X is your campus income. It'll be shown there on your campus budget every month. It shows exactly what comes in at your campus. It's really good for your team to be aware of that information, of just kind of how your campus is doing. Because after all, that's a part of their spiritual walk. Giving is a part of our discipleship. So it's important for you to have a sense for how your campus is doing in terms of that. And then know your why. And your why is your overall expense for your campus, just specifically for your campus. Now, the why is broken down into two parts. First of all, there's the campus expense related to your own campus, so facility, ministry, administration. And again, you can look at your budget to see the layout of some of those items. So that's the first part of your expenses for your campus. And then the second part is what we call central expenses. And this is basically your portion, your percentage of the central expenses. So for example, the teaching pastors aren't assigned to a campus. So basically all the campuses share the expense, the shared expense of the teaching pastors and the administrative staff and at Central and those sorts of things. Also missions are a part of that as well. So those are called your central expenses, your shared central expenses. So you've got your campus expenses related to your own campus, and then you've got your portion, which every year each campus it's determined what portion of that they bear, and so that they help contribute to the overall central expense. And then the last number for you to know, the last letter for you to know is what we call your Z. Your Z is basically your income over expense. So when you take your X and you take your Y and you take the difference between those, hopefully you come up with a positive Z, that your income is higher than the expenses at your campus. Now, it's really important for you to know this Z for many reasons, but for the most part, it helps identify your part as a campus in funding the vision overall of Alpine Church. We as a church are trying to look outward. We're not just trying to run our existing campuses. We're trying to reach more people. We're trying to help more people pursue God. So that means looking outward. So we don't ever want to stop and say, this is good. We're paying our pastors well. We can stop right here. We want to move forward. We want to move the ball down the field and make sure that we're taking more and more territories for Jesus, for his name. Just like the Apostle Paul did in the book of Acts, we want to do the same thing in our area, in our day. And so it's important that every campus should say, we want our Z to be as high as it possibly can because we want to fund the vision for this church moving forward. Now, why don't you hit pause and talk a little bit about this practically before you go on to the last video, which is going to explain exactly the overseer covenant and what you're signing up for.